Hello, my name is Deanne. Arcane Beginnings, free reading of the 2024 D&D Player's Handbook, filling in the details of character creation. This edition invites players and dungeon masters alike to transcend the boundaries of reality as we delve into a world where heroes are forged in the fires of their choices, and every roll of the dice spins a new tale. Let's fill in those details of character creation, why don't we? Page 40. Alignment and personality. Alignment can shape a character's personality, goals, and core beliefs. Looking at the two elements of alignment, you can use the list below to inspire details about your character's personality. On the chart right here, it says chaotic. You have associated traits: boastful, impulsive, rebellious, self-absorbed. For good, we have compassionate, helpful, honest, kind. For evil, we have dishonest, vengeful, cruel, greedy. For lawful, we have cooperative, loyal, judgmental, methodical. For neutral, we have selfish, disinterested, laconic, pragmatic. Step 5. Fill in the details. Now, fill in the rest of your character sheet. Record class features. Look at your class's feature table on Chapter 3 and write down the Level 1 features. The class features are detailed in that same chapter. Some of class features offer choices. Make sure to read all of your features and make any offered choices. Fill in the numbers. Note these numbers on your character sheet. Saving throws. For saving throws, you have proficiency in. Add your proficiency bonus to the appropriate ability modifier and note the total. Some players also like to note the modifier for saving throws you're not proficient in, which is just the relevant ability modifier. Skills. For skills you have proficiency in, add your proficiency bonus to the ability modifier associated with the skill and note the total. You might also wish to note the modifier for your skills you're not proficient in, which is just the relevant ability modifier. Passive perception. Sometimes your DM will determine whether your character notices something without asking you to make a wisdom perception check. The DM uses your passive perception instead. Passive perception is a score that reflects a general awareness of your surroundings when you're not actively looking for something. Use this formula to determine your passive perception score. Passive perception equals 10 plus wisdom perception check modifier. Include all modifiers that apply to your wisdom perception checks. For example, if your character has a wisdom of 15 and proficient in the perception skill, you have the passive perception of 14, 10 plus 2 plus your wisdom modifier plus 2 proficiency. Hit points. Your character and constitution modifier determine your hit points maximum at level 1, as shown in the level 1 hit points by class table. So here's the table. We have class barbarian, hit point maximum 12 plus constitution modifier. Fighter, paladin, or ranger, you have 10 plus constitution modifier. Then you have the bard, cleric, druid, monk, 8 plus con modifier. Oh, also there is the rogue or the warlock. 2 is the 8 plus con modifier. Lastly, we have the sorcerer or wizard, which is 6 plus con modifier. The character sheet includes room to note your current hit points when you take damage, as well as temporary hit points you might gain. There's also a place to track death saving throws. Page 41. Hit point dice. Your class's description, tells you the dice type of your character's hit point dice, or hit dice for short. Write this on your character sheet. At level 1, your character has 1 hit die. You can spend hit dice during a short rest to recover hit points. Your character's sheet also includes space to note how many hit dice you've spent. Initiative. Write your dexterity modifier in a space for initiative on your character sheet. Armor class. Without armor or a shield, your base armor class is a 10 plus your dexterity modifier. If your starting equipment includes armor or a shield, or both, calculate your AC using the rules in Chapter 6. A class feature might give you a different way to calculate your AC. Attacks. In the weapons and damage cantrips section of the character sheet, write your starting weapons. The attack bonus roll for a weapons with which you have proficiency is one of the following unless the weapon's property says otherwise. Melee attack bonus equals strength modifier plus proficiency bonus. Ranged attack bonus, dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus. Look up the damage and properties of your weapon in Chapter 6. Add the same ability modifier you used for attacks with the weapon to your damage rolls with that weapon. Spell casting. Note both the saving throws DC for your spells and the attack bonus for attacks you make with them using these formulas. Spell DC plus spell casting ability modifier plus proficiency bonus. I'm going to read that again. Spell save DC equals 8 plus spell casting ability modifier plus proficiency bonus. Spell attack bonus equals spell casting ability modifier plus proficiency bonus. Your spell modifier for spells is determined by whatever feature gives you the ability to cast a spell. Spell slots, cantrips, and prepared spells. If your class gives you a spell casting or pact magic feature, your class features table shows the number of spell slots you have available, how many cantrips you know, and how many spells you can prepare. Choose your cantrips and prepare spells and note them along with your number of spell slots on your character sheet. Name your character. Choose a name for your character and write it on your character sheet. The name can be whatever you like. Was it a name of an ancestor? Does it have a religious or other significance? It is a name you choose for yourself. Create final details. As you finish creating your character, consider whether you'd like to make up any other details about your character. Here are some Here are the sorts of things you might ask yourself about your character. What's your gender? What person or people do you care about the most? What's your deepest fear? On our adventures, will you seek knowledge, wealth, glory, enlightenment, justice, mercy, power, or something else? Level adjustment. While going on adventures, your character gains experience represented by experience points, XP. A character who reaches a specific experience point total advances in capacity. This advancement is called gaining a level. The character advancement table lists the experience points you need to advance to a level and the proficiency bonus for a character for that level. When your XP total equals or exceeds the number in the experience points column, you reach the corresponding level. So here we have a chart. Character advancement. Level 1, experience points 0, proficiency bonus plus 2. 2 is 300 experience points and plus 2 proficiency bonus. Okay, so we have 3, that's 900 plus 2. 4, that's 2,700 plus 2. 5, we have 6,500 plus 3. 6, we have 14,000 plus 3. 7, 23,000 plus 3. So I'm just going to read the pluses because it's higher numbers and you can look at the chart. Okay, so we have 10 plus 4, 11 plus 4, 12 plus 4, 13 plus 5, 14 plus 5, 15 plus 5, 16 plus 5, 17 plus 6, 18 plus 6, 19, and 20 plus 6. All right. Page 42, gaining a level. This is rather rewarding for players. When you gain level, follow these steps. Number 1, choose a class. Most characters advance in the same class. However, you might decide to gain a level in another class using the rules in the multi-classing section later in this chapter. Number 2, adjust hit points and hit dice. Each time you gain a level, you gain an additional hit die. Roll that die, add your constitution modifier to the roll, and add the total minimum of 1 of your hit points maximum. Instead of rolling, you can use the fixed value shown in the fixed hit point by class table. Fixed hit points by class. This is the chart here. We have the barbarian, 7 plus con modifier. We have the fighter, paladin, or ranger, 6 plus con modifier. You have the bard, cleric, druid, monk, rogue, or warlock, 5 plus the con modifier. Sorcerer or wizard, 4 plus the con modifier. Number 3, record the new class features. Look at your class features table in chapter 3. Add, note, and note the features you gain at your new level in that class. Make any choices offered by the new feature. Number 4, adjust proficiency bonus. A character's proficiency bonus increases at certain levels as shown in the character advancement table and your class features table in chapter 3. When your proficiency bonus increases, increase all the numbers on your character sheet that include your proficiency bonus. Number 5, adjust ability modifiers. If you choose a feat that increases 1 or more of your ability modifiers, your ability modifier also changes if the new score is an even number. When that happens, adjust all numbers in your character sheet that use that ability modifier. When your constitution modifier increases by 1, your hit point maximum increases by 1 for each level you have attained. For example, if a character reaches level 8 and increases their constitution score from 17 to 18, the constitution modifier increases to +4. The character's hit points maximum then increases by 8 in addition to the hit points gained for searching level 8. Page 43, box text at the very top. It says, bonus feats at level 20. A DM can use feats as a form of advancement after characters reach level 20 to provide greater power to characters who have no more levels to gain. With this approach, each character gains 1 feat for the choice of every 30,000 experience points the character earns above 355,000 experience points. Epic boon feats are especially appropriate for these bonus feats, but a player can choose any feat for which their level 20 character qualifies. Tiers of play. With each new level, characters acquire new capabilities that equip them to handle greater challenges. As characters adventure and level, the tone of the game also changes, and the stakes of the campaign get higher. It's helpful to think of a character's and campaign's arc in terms of 4 tiers of play, describing the journey from level 1 character just beginning an adventure career to epic heights of level 20. These tiers don't have any rules associated with them. They point to the fact that the play experience evolves as the characters gain levels. So we have Tier 1, which is levels from 1 to 4. In Tier 1, characters are apprentice adventurers. Though they have already set apart from the broader populace by virtue of their extraordinary abilities, they learn their starting class features and choose a subclass. The threats they face usually pose a danger to local farmsteads or villages. Tier 2, that's levels 5 through 10. In Tier 2, characters are full-fledged adventurers. Spell casting gains iconic spells such as Fireball and Lightning Bolt, and Raise Dead. Most weapons focus class gains an ability and makes multiple attacks in a round. The characters now face dangers that threaten cities and kingdoms. Tier 3, levels 11 to 16. In Tier 3, characters have reached a level of power that makes them special among adventurers. At level 11, many spellcasters earn reality-altering spells. Other characters gain features that allow them to make more attacks or do more impressive things with those attacks. These adventurers often confront threats to whole regions. Tier 4, levels 17 to 20. In Tier 4, characters achieve the pinnacle of their class features, becoming heroic archetypes. The fate of the world or even the order of a multi-universe might hang in the balance during their adventures. Starting at higher levels, your DM might start your group's characters at a level higher than 1. It is particularly recommended to start at level 3 if your group is composed of seasoned D&D players. Creating your character. Creating a higher level character uses the same character creation steps outlined in this chapter and the rules for advancing beyond level 1 provided the level advancement section. You begin with the minimum of experience points required to reach your starting level, For example, if your DM starts you at level 10, you have 64,000 experience points. Starting equipment. The DM decides whether your character starts with more than the standard equipment for a level 1 character. Possibly even one or more magic items. The starting equipment at higher levels table is a guide for the DM. Also, check your DM about the equipment is available for you to buy with your starting money. For example, the firearms description in Chapter 6 are too expensive for a level 1 characters, but might be able to be for purchase if your DM allows them. Right here we have a chart at the bottom. We're on page 43 still. Starting equipment at higher levels, 2 to 4 normal starting equipment, magic items 1 common. 5 to 10 we have 5,000 gold pieces plus 1d10 times 25 gold pieces plus normal starting equipment, magic items 1 common, 1 uncommon. Starting at 11 to 16, 5,000 gold pieces plus 1d10 times 25 gold pieces plus normal starting equipment. 2 common magical items, 3 uncommon, 1 rare. 17 to 20, 20,000 gold pieces plus 1d10 times 25 gold pieces plus normal starting weight. Equipment. 2 common magical items, 4 uncommon, 3 rare, 1 very rare. Multi-classing. Multi-classing allows you to gain levels in multiple classes. With this rule, you have the option of gaining a level in a new class whenever you advance in level instead of gaining a level in your current class. Doing so lets you mix the abilities of those classes to realize a character concept that might not be reflected in a single class. Prerequisites. To qualify for a new class, you must have a score of at least 13 in the primary ability of the new class of your current classes. For example, a barbarian who decides to multiclass into a druid class must have a strength and wisdom score of 13 or higher. Since strength is the primary ability for the barbarians and wisdom is the primary ability for druids. Experience points. The experience point cost to gain a level is based on your total character level, not your level in a particular class, as noted in the chapter character advancement table in this chapter. For example, if you are a level 6 cleric / level 1 fighter, you must gain enough experience points to reach level 8 before you can take your second level in fighter or your 7th level as a cleric. Hit points and hit dice. You gain hit points from your new class as described in the levels after 1. You gain the level 1 hit points for your class only when your total character level is 1. Add together the hit dice granted by all your classes to form your pool of hit dice. If this hit dice is the same die type, you can pool them together. For example, both the fighter and the paladin have a d10 hit dice. So, if you're a level 5 fighter and a level 5 paladin, you have 10 d10 hit dice. If your class gives you a hit dice different types, track them separately. If you're a level 5 cleric and a level 5 paladin, for example, You have 5d8 dice and 5d10 hit dice. Proficiency bonus. Your proficiency bonus is based on your total character level, not your level in a particular class as shown in the character advancement table. For example, if you are a level 3 fighter, level 2 rogue, you have the proficiency bonus of a level 5 character, which is +3. Proficiencies. When you gain your first level in a class other than your initial class, you gain only some of the new classes starting proficiencies, as detailed in each class description in Chapter 3. Class features. When you gain a new level in a class, you get its features for that level. A few features have additional rules when you're multiclassing. Check for more information about multiclassing, including in each of your class descriptions. Special rules apply to extra attack, spellcasting, and features such as unarmed defense that give you alternative ways to calculate your armor class. Armor class. If you have multiple ways to calculate your armor class, you can benefit from only one at a time. For example, a monk / sorcerer with the monk's unarmed defense feature and the sorcerer's draconic resistance feature must choose only one of those features as a way to calculate armor class. Extra attack. If you gain the extra attack feature from more than one class, the feature don't stack. You can't make more than 2 attacks with the feature unless you have a feature that says you can, such as the fighter's 2 extra attack features. Similarly, the warlock's thrusting blade invocation, which grants you an extra attack feature with your packed weapon, doesn't give you an additional attacks if you also have extra attack. Spellcasting. Your capacity for spellcasting depends partly on your combined levels in your spellcasting classes and partly on your individual levels in those classes. Once you have the spellcasting feature from one or more of these classes, use the rules below. If you multi-class but have the spellcasting feature from only one class, follow the rules for that class. Spells prepared. You determine what spells you can prepare for each class individually as if you were a single class member of that class. If you are a level 4 ranger, level 3 sorcerer, for example, you can prepare 5 level 1 ranger spells, and you can prepare 6 sorcerer spells of level 1 or 2, as you can prepare 6 sorcerer spells of level 1 or 2, as well as the 4 sorcerer cantrips. Each spell you prepare is associated with one of your classes, and you can use the spellcasting ability for that class when you cast the spell. Cantrips. If a cantrip of yours increases your power at higher levels, the increase is based on your total character level, not the level in the particular class unless the spell says otherwise. Multi-class spellcaster. Okay, there's a chart here for spell slots per caster level. I am not reading that, just to let you know.
Spell slots. You determine your available spell slot by adding together the following: all your levels in Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, and Wizard. Half your levels rounded up in Paladin and Ranger classes. 1/3 of your Fighter or Rogue levels rounded down if you have the Eldritch Knight or Arcane Trickster subclass. Then look at this total level in the level column of your multi-class spellcaster table. You use the slots for that level to cast spells of an appropriate level from any class whose spellcaster feature you have. This table might give you the spell slots of higher level than the spells you prepare. You can use those spell slots, but only to cast your low-level spells. If the low-level spell that you can cast, like Burning Hands, has an enchantment effect that can cause cast at a higher level, and enchantment effects when the cast at a higher level, you can use the enhanced effect as normal. For example, if you use a level 4 ranger, level 3 sorcerer to count as a level 5 character when determining your spell slots, counting all of your as a sorcerer. Okay, so for example, all right, I just lost my place. Sorcerer count as a level 5 character when determining your spellcast slots, counting all your levels as a sorcerer and half of your ranger levels, as shown in the multi-class spellcaster table. You have 4 level 1 spell slots and 3 level 2 level slots and 2 level 3 slots. However, you can't prepare any 3rd level spells, nor can you prepare any level 2 ranger spells. You can use the spell slots of those levels to cast the spells you do prepare and potentially enhance their effects. Pact Magic. If you have the Pact Magic feature from the Warlock class and the spellcasting feature, you can use the spell slots you gain from the Pact Magic to cast spells you have prepared from classes with the spellcasting feature. And you can use the spellcasting slots you gain from the spellcaster feature to cast Warlock spells as you prepare. Trinkets. When you make your character, you can roll once on the trinkets table to gain a tiny trinket, a simple item lightly touched by mystery. The character might also use this, the DM might also use this table. It can help stock a room in a dungeon or fill a creature's pockets. You never know. So there is a trinkets chart right here. 1d10 you roll, or you would roll the 1d10 dice, and depending on your roll, what you get. You can get a mummified goblin head, a crystal that faintly glows in the moonlight, a gold coin minted in an unknown land, a diary written in a language you don't know, a brass ring that never tarnishes, an old chest piece made of glass, a pair of knucklebone dice, each with a skull symbol on the side that would normally show 6pence, a small idol depicting a nightmarish creature that gives you uneasy dreams when you sleep near it, a lock of someone's hair, a deed for a parcel of land in a realm unknown to you, a 1-ounce block made from an unknown material, A small cloth doll sewn with needles. A tooth from an unknown beast. An enormous scale, perhaps from a dragon. A bright green feather. An old divination card bearing your likeness. The glass orb filled with moving smoke. A 1-pound egg with a bright red shell. A pipe that blows bubbles. A glass jar containing a bit of flesh floating in pickling fluid. A gnomecraft music box that plays a song you dimly remember from your childhood. A wooden statue of a smug halfling. A brass orb etched with a strange runes. A multicolored stone disc. A silver icon of a raven. A bag containing 47 teeth, one of which is rotten. A shard of obsidian that always feels warm to the touch. A dragon's talon strung on a leather necklace. A pair of old socks. Hopefully they're not smelly. A blank book whose pages refuse to hold ink, chalk, graphite, or any other markings. A silver badge that is 5-pointed star. A knife that belonged to a relative. A glass vial filled with nail clippings. Ooh. A rectangular metal device with 2 tiny metal cups on one end that throws sparks when wet. A white sequins glove sized for a human. Can we say Michael Jackson? A vest with 100 tiny pockets. Ooh, that could be useful. A weightless stone. A sketch of a goblin. An empty glass vial that smells of perfume. A gemstone that looks like a lump of coal when examined by anyone but you. A scrap of cloth from an old banner. A rank insignia from a lost legionnaire. A silver bell without a clasper. A metal carney inside a lamp. A miniature chest carved to look like its numerous feet on the bottom. A dead sprite inside a clear glass bottle. A metal can that has no openings but sounds as if it's filled with liquid sand, spiders, or broken glass. Your choice. A glass orb filled with water, which swims a clockwork goldfish. A silver spoon with an M engraved on the handle. A whistle made from gold-colored wood. A dead scarab beetle the size of your hand. 2 toy soldiers missing a head. Trinkets continued on page 47. We have, if you roll a 53, a small box filled with different sized buttons. A candle that can't be lit. A miniature cage with no door. An old key. An indecipherable treasure map. A hilt from a broken sword. A rabbit's foot. A glass eye. A cameo of a hideous person. a silver skull the size of a coin, an alabaster mask, a cone of sticky black incense that stinks, ooh, a nightcap that gives you pleasant dreams when you wear it. That's nice. A single catapult made of bone, a gold monocle frame without the lens, a 1-inch cube, each side a different color, a crystal doorknob, a packet filled with pink dust, a fragment of a beautiful song written as musical notes on 2 pieces of parchment, a silver teardrop earrings containing a real teardrop. Ooh, that could be a great story. An eggshell painted with scenes of mystery in a disturbing detail. Misery in disturbing detail. Sorry, I can't read. A fan, when unfolded, shows a sleepy cat. Oh. A set of bone pipes. A 4-leaf clover pressed inside a book discussing manners and etiquette. So, who wants a sheet of parchment upon which is drawn a mechanical contraption? Sounds cool. Or maybe you want an ornate scarab that fits no blade you have found. You can get an invitation to a party where a murder happened. A bronze pentacle with an etching of a rat's head in the center. No thanks. A purple handkerchief embroidered with the name of an archmage. Could be a adventure plot. Half a floor plan for a temple, a castle, or another structure. So much potential here. A bit of folded cloth that, when unfolded, turns into a stylized cap. A receipt of deposit at a bank in a far-off city. A diary with 7 missing pages. A diary. Oh, I can't see. I can't read. A diary with 7 missing pages. Wonder where those missing pages are. Locate object. Anyone? An empty silver snuff box bearing the inscription "Dreams" on the lid. An iron holy symbol devoted to an unknown god. A book about a legendary hero rises and falls with the last chapter missing. Intriguing. A vial of dragon blood. An ancient arrow of elven design. A needle that never bends. An ornate brooch of dwarven design. An empty wine bottle bearing a pretty label that says the Wizard of Wine's Winery, Red Dragon Crush, 331422-W. Monastic tile with a multicolor glazed surface, a petrified mouse. They really like mice here. And rats. A black pirate flag adorned with a dragon's skull and crossbones. Oh, that sounds cool. A tiny mechanical crab or spider that moves about when it's not being observed. A glass jar containing lard with the label that reads Griffin Grease. A wooden box with a ceramic button that holds a living worm with a head on each end of its body. A metal urn containing ashes of a hero. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. That's it for this section. And stay tuned for more readings of Dungeons & Dragons 2024. Let's see. Let me turn the page. I think there's a pretty picture. We might be going into chapter 2. Let's see. Oh, that's chapter 3. Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. I did not realize we were all the way in chapter 2. Okay. Till next time. Bye.